Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh McKelvin. The primary is upon us, and over the last several months, we've gotten to get a pretty good handle on where the candidates stand on the issues. So now the question becomes, what makes them tick as people? What are the personal stories that help shape them into the people that they are today? Well, with the help of the Institute of Politics and St. Anselm College and Granite State voters, we sat down with them to share a meal, to get some personal stories and hear more about their personal sides. And over the next couple of hours, we're going to share those conversations with you. Up first tonight, a man who has built his reputation on being blunt. In fact, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has never really had a problem speaking his mind. The Republican landed his first elected position after speaking out against a small city project in his family's neighborhood.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you. How are you?
In this campaign, when you see Chris Christie, more often than not, his wife, Mary Pat, is close by.
You know, we've always been a team since we've been married almost 30 years ago, whether it was my career or Chris's career. But I enjoy people, and I've really enjoyed being up here in New Hampshire. Yeah. And it's an easy flight. So. That's the added benefit of being an easy flight.
Yeah, it's good to say at the airport diner. Yeah, and you know, I've spent more days here than any other candidate. And I think Mary Pat has spent more days here than any other candidate other than me. So, I mean, she has been here with me a lot, and we really have approached this as a team from the beginning. And I think you especially have to do that when you have 4 children.
The pair have been friends since their late teens, but when the romance started, things happened fast.
We started dating in March, I think, and we're engaged by December of that year, which is kind of crazy. But
yeah, I don't know how either sets of our parents, now as parents, I don't know how their heads didn't just explode.
So this was in college?
In college. I was a senior in college.
And you got engaged in college?
Oh, I'm a year older. So I was in my first year of law school. Okay. And so I was at the end of my first semester of law school, and Mary Pat was at the end of her second to last semester of college. And so I didn't have a job. I had a part-time job. I was working in a law firm as a law clerk, and Mary Pat was in college. And I went to her house that Christmas and proposed to her, and then went and spoke to her father. Now, my father-in-law, who's since passed away, is an amazing guy, wonderful guy, Wharton Business School graduate, really smart, really organized. And he looked at me and he said, "And how do you propose to support my daughter?" And I said, "Well, we've talked about it. We'll work it out." He's like, "Doesn't sound like a plan, Chris."
No, Chris Christie didn't come with a silver spoon, and he started working at the age of 15, pumping gas.
You know, I was not a car guy, like, growing up, and my parents weren't big car people. They didn't, you know, they weren't focused on it. So the first day, I didn't know much about cars. The first day, a guy pulls in with a Jaguar. And I walk up, I say, "Can I help you?" And you know, in New Jersey, we're one of only 2 states that has no self-serve gas, right? Yeah. So you can't pump your own gas. Someone pumps it for you. So that was me. So I walk up and I say, "Yeah, can I help you?" And he said, "Yeah, put $10 in each tank." And I was like, "Okay."
And his next job was selling shoes at a local business.
It was a family-owned store. A husband and wife owned the store, and their sons. They had all sons. They had four sons, and they all worked there. And then they'd have 1 or 2 stragglers that worked there outside the family, and I was one of them. The mother, when I came in, she goes, "Now listen, you're the new guy, so one of your jobs every day is to water this plant over here." She said, "So don't ever forget to water the plant. You got to water the plant every day. Don't forget." I said, then you get on to the rest of your job, but water the plant." I'm like, "All right." So I come every day, I'd fill the thing, I'd pour water in. I did this for like 10 days of work. And by the 8th or 9th day, like the guys were laughing at me. And I'm like, "Why are you laughing?" "Well, because, you know, you're the new guy and you got to water the plant, and you're a poor guy, you got to water the plant every day." It was an artificial plant. And they wanted to wait to how long it was going to take me to figure out the watering the plant.
Like most things in his life, Christie figured it out. But his foray into politics started at age 30 when the New Jersey version of the county commission planned to widen a road running through his neighborhood.
And I was angry, and I think it showed. Yeah. And I was like, "Listen," you know, and I used to talk about that meeting all the time where they basically booted us out and didn't pay any attention to us. And it resonated with a lot of people. And I think for a lot of those folks, they're like, "Okay, yeah, why not him? Now, the young kid with the big mouth, let's put him in," you know?
So what happened with the road?
Never got widened. No, let me tell you, I got on there. It was over pretty quickly. That one got right off it has never been widened since then. That was 1994.
Christie says the dominant influence in his life was his late mother.
And she was not someone who it was easy for her to express her emotions. And so one of the dearest possessions I have is after I was sworn in as U.S. Attorney in 2002, my mom wrote me a letter. That's the only letter my mom ever wrote me. And she wrote me a letter, and she started off the letter by saying, you know, it frustrates your mother that she can't express her feelings to you as freely as I would like, but that's the way I was raised. And then she said, and that's an old story anyway, and this letter's not about me, it's about you. And she wrote this letter about how proud she was of me, and what an amazing moment it was for her to see her son, you know, be given this incredible privilege by the president. And this was right after 9/11, you know, to serve the country in this way. And she ended the letter by saying, you know, even though I don't get to say it as much as I'd like to, you should know that I couldn't have asked for a better son, and I couldn't be filled with more pride. And, you know, I keep that letter. It's in the top drawer of my dresser. And every once in a while, you know, I pull it out for two reasons. One, to read it again and to feel that again from her, and it makes her presence more real to me. And secondly, there is something comforting, right, about actually seeing her handwriting. And something that I think we're missing these days with emails and text messages and all the rest. Like when I see that handwriting, it really makes me feel her. I remember the notes that she would write to school, right? You know, Chris is late today because he's an idiot, you know, and he overslept, you know, or the birthday cards or whatever. Like, that's Mom. Like, I saw that handwriting, and immediately it's like, that's my mother.
It's important for the Christies to keep their own kids grounded in a life that has become very public. And Christie points to the night that he pulled an upset win in the race for New Jersey governor.
And it was after 11 o'clock at night when we finally came downstairs, and it was open bar. So these people were loaded. I mean, they were like, they were drunk, they were happy, they hadn't won anything in 12 years. I mean, so we're backstage, and we can hear and feel the crowd. And I said, you know, I got to talk to everybody. So I said to the kids, I said, okay, everybody in a huddle. Let's get in a huddle. And the 6 of us got in a huddle, and I looked at them and I said, listen, we're going to walk out on that stage, and when we do, our life is going to change. And what I want you to remember is two things. It's all temporary, and that the people who are the most important in your life always are the people who are in this circle. Don't ever forget that, because you'll make lots of other friends because of what's going to happen to Dad now. But the most important people in your life are the ones in that circle. And I think our kids have talked about that a number of times when they've gotten interviewed by people, and they said, like,
impact on them.
and that moment had a big impact on them. And I think that's what we remind ourselves of all the time, that it's temporary, and that enjoy the parts of it that you can enjoy, and tolerate with a smile the things that are more difficult, because you asked for this voluntarily. And so, like, the kids will get upset. Sometimes we'll be out to dinner someplace, and lots of people will come up and ask for pictures or whatever. And I say to them, remember, in Dad's business, when they stop asking for pictures, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. So this is good. This is a good sign, you know.